Hi everyone, I'm Danielle and today's day 50 of my 100-day video blog. I have to be accountable and admit that yesterday I was supposed to do my daily update, but the day got away from me from being at the shop, and then I had an event that I'm making up for today, and I'll do another one later. But what's really important to me about yesterday is it was World Recognition of Mental Health Day, and this topic and theme is extremely near and dear to my heart because I have suffered throughout my whole life with varying degrees of anxiety and depression, and at times I'll admit that I have faced suicidal thoughts, though I haven't done anything to act on that. But I know people who have, and it's affected everybody's lives. These mental health disorders not only affect the person that's afflicted with it, but affects all family members. So that can range from anxiety, which is plaguing in epidemic levels society at large. Ultimately, I wound up suffering adrenal fatigue, which creates the cortisol in your body, which is your fight or flight response. So if your body's constantly in a state of wanting to flee because it feels like it's in danger, ultimately it leads to very significant implications. So things like brain fog and inability to concentrate, just really lacking all focus. Neck issues. I have 4 levels of cervical spinal fusion, so the amounts of stress that I faced throughout my life definitely degenerated and contributed to severe chronic back and spinal issues. Stress and anxiety can manifest in high blood pressure, and some schools of thought say that it contributes to a wide variety of disease, especially different types of cancer. That's a whole different conversation. But in terms of mental, emotional, and personality disorders, there are so many significant disorders that have daily severe implications that if they're not dealt with in a professional and productive manner, it really is like living torture for the person who's afflicted, as well as to their family members, to see them suffer and to also deal with the consequences of having to interact with their loved one that's suffering. So I definitely believe very strongly that our country and the world needs to do more to shine the light on such issues. So it ranges from everything from being stressed out from too much pressure to having severe anxiety, which create panic attacks and anxiety attacks, which can sometimes feel like a heart attack, to depression, varying degrees of depression. So many people battle depression and are untreated, but there are techniques and different healing modalities and ways of managing that can be life-changing to help balance out your emotions. I have many friends that have traumatic brain injuries, and they suffer on a daily basis, and their lives are never the same. I have family and friends that have disorders such as schizophrenia or borderline personality disorder, or there's many. Then also there's degenerative diseases such as like dementia, and I don't know how Alzheimer's would be considered. It's definitely cognitive memory. So it's just, there are so many people afflicted and affected by mental, emotional, and personality health disorders that it really needs to be addressed. So hi, I had to just move my car from my neighbor. So the point is, there's almost a social stigma associated with it, because people don't know how to talk about or how to help these issues. So sometimes they just feel like the best way to handle it is to not say anything. But then the people who are suffering don't get the help that they need, and they feel isolated and further isolated, which is also part of many personality and mental disorders. So it's a really vicious cycle, and shame then gets associated with these disorders. And there should be no shame, because if somebody's suffering from a physical condition, like it's very obvious, like there's a physical condition that needs to be treated. Well, mental and personality disorders are very much the same. There's something that's off balance that needs to be treated, and there are remedies to help, and there's healing modalities that help. So when I found myself at the end of my career just completely burned out, which was just deemed an official disorder by the World Health Organization, finally, because it's plaguing companies, businesses, families around the world, there are things that can be done to prevent it and things that can be done to treat it. And my goal, it's really important, is to talk about it and to let you know that you're not alone, and to let you know that there are resources that can help. So if medication is required to help stabilize and balance your emotions, or your whatever hormones are creating that imbalance, there's no shame in getting medication that's going to stabilize you. I remember when I was at a really significant peak of my anxiety, I was taking Zoloft, and the way that my doctor explained it is, you think of your moods as a spectrum, so here's your lows and here's your highs. Instead of being extremely low to extremely high, it just kind of cuts the edge, so it's not such a big swing. Ultimately, I wound up weaning myself off of the medication by doing things to counterbalance that, because I wanted to strive for healthy, holistic ways to live with my condition, so that my condition didn't define me, but instead I was able to know how to balance it and keep it in check, so that it was at bay and subsided, and I was living a healthy lifestyle. So including things such as healthy, balanced, clean eating and nutritional cleansing to help detoxify my body physically, and nourishing it with plenty of water to stay hydrated, sleeping well, spending time in nature, incorporating meditation, as well as specific mindfulness techniques which help you bring your thoughts and your consciousness to the here and the now, because anxiety is caused by too much worry about all that needs to be done and all that may be happening that usually never happens. And depression is caused by too much dwelling on the past, even though you can never change the past. And it's just ruminating and overthinking. So being here and now and present, Reiki is energy healing, and that is significant when it comes to emotional and mental treatments and balance and relaxation, and very restorative. Yoga is meditation and flow. One-on-one therapy, talk therapy, sometimes talking to a neutral third party is so valuable. I think everybody could benefit from talking to a therapist just about life. Oftentimes there's substance abuse and addictions which are associated with these disorders, because the people are so unhappy with themselves, they seek escape or relief. So substance is very much a significant part of that entire dynamic of people who suffer with emotional and mental disorders. But help is available. So the 12-step programs are very structured and very supportive, and include fellowship of people that are there to help and lend support and who understand. There's also resources for family members as well. I talk a lot about the fact that we can't control the actions of anybody else. We can only control the actions within ourselves. So even if you know somebody that is suffering from an emotional or personality disorders. So some personality disorders do include everything from like narcissism, bipolar disorder, manic depression, borderline personality disorder. There's a wide array. But sometimes if the person who's afflicted is not getting help, family members need resources, because like they can't control someone else, but they can learn how to manage their own lives and figure out how to best handle it for their greatest good. So I definitely believe wholeheartedly that people can heal. Having a disorder doesn't define you. It's learning how to live in a healthy manner with your disorder. If it's physical, if it's mental, if it's emotional, if it's personality, there are resources available. So it's something that I definitely advocate for, and I'm always here to talk. I'm always here to provide healing. If you want Reiki, to try that. Massage. I mean, there are so many things. Journaling, I think it's so important to journal, to get your thoughts out, even if it just starts with bullet points. Get it out from inside and onto paper, so it's very cathartic and healing. So have a blessed, loving day. Be kind to each other, be compassionate to each other, be patient with each other, and I'll be in touch later with a different theme for day 51's daily blog journal. But I think balance is really, really important. And if you find yourself getting overwhelmed, make sure you stop and pause and take a 5-minute break, just to relax and breathe and clear your mind and reset. Okay? It's really important to take care of you. So have a great day. Thanks for joining me. Bye.